Now, Aunt Nancy say, before my locks became white gold, I met a rooster man. Every woman done met a rooster man before. Oh, yes, child. That man who sits pretty, chest puffed, feathers shining, crowing about what he is, what he will do, what he thinks he knows, while the woman beside him is the one keeping the house warm, the children fed, and the whole world spinning straight. Now, don't get it twisted. A rooster man ain't always evil. No, no. He just been raised to believe that noise is the same thing as leadership, that volume is the same thing as vision, and that as long as he crows, the sun will rise on cue. One winter night, snow thick on the ground, that rooster sat on the couch, stiff as pride itself, scrolling, sighing, talking about his big plans, his big ideas, his big importance. And the woman? She was the one watching the pot on the stove, folding the clothes, calling the children in from the cold, checking the doors, making sure the house didn't fall apart while he sat there like a throne somebody forgot to polish. She wasn't fussing, she wasn't begging, she wasn't explaining. She just existed in her quiet power, breathing steady, moving sure, keeping the whole winter from swallowing that house whole. That's when Aunt Nancy slid up to the window, pressed her fingers to the old stone, and said, look at that now. The fire is burning because of her, but he think he the sun. See, a rooster man learns slow, but he does learn this. A house don't shine because a man crows. It shines because a woman chooses to stay, to pour her warmth into walls that don't always thank her. And if she ever stopped choosing, hey, the winter gets real cold, real fast. So Aunt Nancy whispers the lesson through the glass. Let your actions rise like dawn, not your noise. And the rooster inside, he heard it. Oh, he heard it good. But whether he listens, that's another story. Now Aunt Nancy lean on that stone frame and grin, 'cause she done seen this story 1,000 times and once more for fun. The rooster man strutting around the house, trying to run things by sound alone. Do this. Don't do that. Where you going? Who you talking to? Why you so quiet? Lord, his feathers were everywhere, his chest loud, his spirit small. He thought control was love. He thought rules were care. He thought his constant crowing meant he was head of house, even though he couldn't read the weather in his own woman's eyes. But listen close, child. Spider folk don't answer to crowing. We answer to wisdom. One night, as the snow fell soft and the moon sat high, Aunt Nancy flicked a silver thread across the window and whispered, Boy, if you want a queen, you better stop acting like poultry. The wind carried those words right through the cracks. See, spider truth works slow and deep. It don't always break a man. Sometimes it rewires him, shows him where he leaking, where he lazy, where he hiding behind his own noise. And that rooster? Oh, he felt the shift. The woman beside him grew quiet, then glowing, then powerful. She stopped explaining. She stopped arguing. She stopped begging him to see what was plain as day. And when a woman reclaims her silence, her spine, her sanctuary, the rooster got two choices. He can learn or be left out in the yard. Aunt Nancy chuckled, low in her throat, 'cause men always forget this simple fact. A rooster can crow the morning in, but only a woman can build a home worth waking to. Spider truth don't shout, it waits. It waits for the day the woman says, I am not your audience anymore. And on that day, the rooster finally realizes the spider wasn't just telling stories, she was giving warnings. Aunt Nancy tell it like this. In January, truth walks around with no shoes on. Cold ground make every step honest. Inside the hearth room, the Rooster Man sat stiff on that couch, worrying about who might see him, who might judge him, who might claim him as theirs. He measured himself by eyes outside the house, neighbors, friends, family, strangers, everybody but the one woman keeping his world from freezing. But the woman, oh, she wasn't thinking about him at all. She was tending heat, not just the fire on the hearth, but the fire in her own spirit. She wrapped her shawl tighter, tucked her dreams closer, and started feeding the flame inside her chest more than the one at his feet. Aunt Nancy peeped through that frosted window, snowflakes clinging to her white blonde locks, and saw it clear. The man was decorative. The woman was essential. That rooster thought love was possession, presence, proximity, just being there. But Aunt Nancy knows better. Love is participation. You sit and you help. You speak and you listen. You stay and you honor. A rooster man who does not evolve turns into background noise, a sound the house learns to live without. A winter ornament, nice to look at, useless when the cold sets in. But a rooster man who grows, who learns the rhythm of a woman's fire, who knows when to add wood, when to shield the flame, when to say thank you instead of about time, that one becomes a partner, not a perch. Aunt Nancy tapped the stone and whispered, "Transformation is free, boy, but pride is expensive." The wind grabbed that truth and slid it under the door, around his ankles, up his spine. And somewhere deep in that house, or maybe just outside it, a woman decided, I am the hearth. I am the warmth. Where I go, home goes. And child, once she knows that, no winter can hold her hostage again. But hear this well, child. Some rooster men don't grow. Some rooster men watch the fire die and still blame the cold. This one, he stood there, blinking at the quiet house, at the woman whose warmth no longer flowed toward him, and he still didn't understand the price of his own noise. Aunt Nancy tilted her head, Spider perched on her shoulder. Look at him. Pride so thick it clogged his ears. She tapped the stone and the frost on the window thickened. Because this truth, it don't melt for fools. A man can crow up the whole sky, but if he never learns how to tend a woman's fire, her spirit will rise without him. A good woman's warmth is earned, not owed. And when she finally chooses herself, the rooster man discovers something brutal. He ain't the sun. He ain't the dawn. He ain't the heat. He's just a noisemaker in a cold house. And while he stands there shivering in his own consequences, life keeps moving. Other men, quiet, steady, grown men, can smell a woman reclaiming her fire. They come respectful. They come ready. They come with hands made for building, not taking. A rooster who never learns? He watches through the smoke as the woman he thought he owned walks into a future where her fire is honored. Aunt Nancy chuckled low. Is he that dumb? Oh, yes, baby. Dumb enough to lose a queen and still wonder why the castle froze.